Hi, I'm Dr. Tuepenz.
And I'm Gaplord.
And we are the Juice Crew Villans. Man, oh, you gotta see the one I did today. She got the Street Fighter effects on it.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it at the...
Life. I'm just living my life. I'm just living my life.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, the crook in my neck. Good day, everyone. It's me, Gaplord, your friend extraordinaire, and today we present to you a very interesting topic. We are going to talk about why are black men more feminine today? And let me say it again. Why are black men more feminine today? And we're comparing this to like 60, 70 years ago, even 50 years ago. Why do black men seem more feminine? Dr. Tuepenz, let me start by asking you, does fatherless homes breed violence?
That's a really good question. And I'm going to have to say yes. Long term, this can breed violence. It's not necessarily true for every household where there is no father or no male figures present. But when you have a household, if you just look at if you're around that type of environment, around violent people, you can kind of look at the households and tell the households who have the top killers and the top gangsters, they come from fatherless homes.
So we know not all, but do most fatherless homes breed violence?
Yes.
Okay.
Fucked up.
So does the fact that many men being raised by women result to them being feminine and having feminine traits?
Yes, I think that's only natural.
Do you? So what type of feminine traits do you think you gain by being in a feminine home as a man?
Over emotional. Women have a different set of emotions that men do not have. And if a man carries or handles his emotions the same way a woman handles his emotions, it's going to turn into violence because women aren't as strong, so they're naturally not as aggressive. A man is stronger, so he's naturally going to be more aggressive by nature. And if he becomes angry, there's going to be a chance where he, resolves that anger through violence.
And men are typically the primary, more violent gender overall. Men tend to do more violent crimes than women would. So it is safe to say that emotional men tend to lead them, emotions with men tend to lead them into prison.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so an emotional man is not technically a good thing, and I know it seems that many women, and not all, but many women like the trait of an emotional man that's able to express themselves and act emotionally. And emotional men tend to be more violent, I would think. Would you agree? Okay, so we're going to break down some statistics amongst men and children in fatherless homes. So 90% of all homeless runaway children are from fatherless homes. 90%. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
So with that, why are the children running away from their mothers?
Shit, get away from that abuse. To get away from tired mama. Mama tired and she can't take it. She's gonna abuse you now because she's too tired to deal with you on a normal in a normal manner. So she's gonna abuse you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like emotionally, verbally, and sometimes physically. Yeah. 71% of all high school dropouts come from fatherless homes.
Damn, that's 7 out of 10.
Wow.
7 out of 10 kids, yeah.
Why do you think that's?
I mean, well, it's easier to do that around mama. You can get away with more. Mama's gonna be like, oh, it's my baby. Some mothers call their kids babies until they fully grown people.
And while they're grown.
You know what I'm saying? And if you look at a grown teenage child like he's your baby, and I'm just speaking on a personal perspective, because I could have dropped out of school and my mama probably wouldn't have known it.
Yeah.
She probably wouldn't have known it. And it's not that secondary parent or just second parent that'll say, hey, have you checked on the boys' grades? It's nobody else there to say that. So it's easier in that sense for kids, especially young men, to get away with stuff around their mother when they're with their mother by themselves.
And I add my 2 cents into that. I think that having a father around, as someone who got a father around, I think that there's much more structure and discipline in the home, and you're less likely to do these things. And my father didn't have to whoop us or beat us. That was something my mother was more likely to do. But I was more likely to get in trouble with her just around. I wasn't like afraid of her disciplinary actions. But my dad just had to speak. And I just knew. It was just like, it was something, his presence was like, I need to take my butt to school. There's going to be an issue if I don't. And it was just much more structure, even from him being home or being at work. Him being at work, we feel like we can get away with more. Him being at home, we was more on our P's and Q's. It's just what it is.
Man, people like you used to make me be glad that I didn't have a father around so I could get away with all the stuff.
With it, yeah.
Because I knew if I had my dad around, he would have been on me like white on rice.
So listen to these statistics. I got some of this from PolitiFacts, and we'll post the other sources also. But 85% of all youth sitting in prison today grew up in fatherless homes. 85% of children that exhibit behavioral disorders come from fatherless homes. 90% of felony cases all over the nation are committed by defendants who grew up in father-absent households. From PolitiFact, Representative John Duncan. Those are extreme numbers, right?
I had to sit back.
Yeah.
That's kind of heavy, cuz. It's kind of heavy, man. Like, do y'all see what the damage of that is of not having a father around? And that's why we asked the question in episode 81, are black dads important to the black community? Are they? Because it just seemed like, a black dad, it ain't nothing unless you rich. And even then, if you ain't spending the money how they say you should spend the money, they still don't respect you. So it's just like, man, why do we not value fathers in the black community?
Yeah. And it seems that they are very, very, very important based off these statistics.
Extremely. Highly.
So,
Absolutely.
Not to say that there aren't any good mothers.
Right.
You can make it in growing up in a single mother household.
Yeah.
It's just not the most productive. It just doesn't yield the best results. And imagine that kid who grew up productively in a single mother household. Imagine how much more greater that kid would have grew up with a father in the household, with 2-parent household. It's the yin and the yang. So let me ask, with these facts presented, do single mothers raise criminals?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. I mean,
you're more likely to end up being a criminal or in prison if you come from a single mother household.
It's just the way it is, man. I mean, but it also goes to, they got the media. I think the reason the single mothers, especially the feminist movement, I always want to throw that out there because with the introduction of the feminist movement to the black community, who's the feminist movement for? It's a thing that automatically comes in and separates the two. Because the feminist movement for women, supposed to be single women, really. What is a married woman? What rights are you really fighting for? You're married. You have a man in your life and y'all have a family structure that you're building. So it really doesn't have anything to do with you. I just, I think that a lot of people don't really take the time to analyze the things that are causing problems in their life and see the grand scheme of things, of the big picture, like the things they ingest mentally, spiritually, and physically. The information and the food that people are taking in is causing them to essentially be single for the rest of their life and raise children that become criminals. Now, that was a tangent, and it kind of went all over the place. But I brought it back to my key point, which was the feminist movement. Is information that people take inside of themselves, and it causes them to feel like they don't need a man in their life, so they automatically create what's the word? I ain't gonna say hate. I just say hate, resentment. Forget the black man. I don't need a man. This I don't need a man mentality. A lot of women have I don't need a man syndrome.
So that was my next question, is asking, what do you think led to men not being in the home?
Oh yeah, definitely the feminist movement.
Feminist movement.
You see the movie. A great example of this depicted on screen is the movie Cornbread. Earl Cornbread. Yeah, and in the beginning of the movie, I think it's Cornbread's mama. She got a man that she's entertaining and dating, and he's over there after a long night of whatever they were doing, and the next day the social worker was supposed to come over there, and she like, oh, you gotta leave because I want them to see me with a man in my house.
Mm-hmm.
They can't see me with a man in my life helping me raise my child. Because it take away the benefit. When people say the benefits replaced the man, it did. The government became the father to you people's children. The same government who built the prisons to put your children in.
So do you think that most there's a stereotype out there that most men just don't want to be in their kids' life, they just run away from their responsibilities. And I would beg to argue opposed to that. Do you think that's the case?
No. It's not the case all the time. Sometimes, yes.
Do you think it's the case most of the time?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's very, very, very interesting. It seems that single mothers breed the men that they dislike so much. We have a lot of men out here who are like, to me, it's odd because I've never seen this in my life anecdotally. I've never seen men wanting to be stay-at-home fathers, not work. Men who rather see the wife go out and do all the hard work, and and be okay with it. I've never seen so many men want to do okay with that. I've asked my peers and things like, "Are you okay with that? Would you be okay with your wife bring home?" They're like, "Yeah." I as cousins, I as friends, and it's just so weird to me. I'm not used to that. I grew up with my dad. It's like my mom stayed home and my dad went to work, and he worked countless hours. And I think that's something that men are more built for doing. I don't think women should be dealing with the daily stresses of life like that and having all that pressure on them. Men should take on that pressure and deal with those things. But it seems that women promote these type of men and raise them, but then again complain about them when they're dating. It's like it's a little
backwards.
A little backwards, yeah.
But do you just beware of the consequences?
So it is safe to say that. No. Let me ask this: do you think children do better in single mother homes or single father homes?
Single father.
Yeah, I don't have the statistics, but it is a statistical fact that men do better.
You not for the daddy is just a scary person to a child. He's a big, tall, deep-voiced, strong individual that's not really as lovey-dovey as mommy. Mommy is going to be way more lovey-dovey than daddy is. So the child naturally knows that you have some type of affection in your mother. So you know that she's going to be more, oh, my baby daddy. I'm like, well, what's going on? Are you really hurt? Because if you're not dead or bleed, it's not a bunch of blood everywhere. Dad's probably not going to care like that. You got to really be bleeding. The other day, my son cut his finger and he's washing dishes. I said, where the blood at? He said, oh, it's just a little cut. I said, nah, you just don't want to wash the dishes. You just don't want to wash the dishes. Now, I'm not saying his mother would have took the same approach, but it probably would have been different. You know what I'm saying? It probably like, oh, let me see. You sure you want to stop and go to the bathroom real quick? And I'm like, are you bleeding right now? Are you bleeding all over the dishes? Because if the answer is no, then you can continue to go.
Yeah.
That's called motherfucking bars, nigga. You know nothing about that.
Doing what they should be doing.
Are capable of doing it either, but it's more of it. Like,
it yields very low results in success. It has a very low success rate, and it's hard to take accountability as a parent. Even like me as a man, you as a woman, we have to take accountability. Be like, this just doesn't yield the best results. If his father was around, it'll be. I think I'm doing an amazing job, but it'd be even better if the other parent was around. And oftentimes we don't know the mistakes we made as parents until our kids are grown and we see the results of how our kids turn out and our kids come back and forgive us for the mistakes we made.
Yeah, they'll tell you.
Yeah, and most kids, they're scared to forgive their parents because, we have like a fear factor. when talking to our parents once we become adults. Not me though, but at one point I did.
Oh yeah, yeah, I did too. And once I realized that I had to snap up out of that.
And just anecdotal, aside from the statistics, anecdotally, if I look into my community, schools I've been to, working for social services, I could visually see that kids with 2-parent homes or father in the home did much better than the kids in single mother homes. Working in group homes, working in social services as a social worker, kids who was taken into DHS custody and had 2-parent homes tended to be much more stable in foster homes. They just had better attitudes. Even though the home was corrupted and supposedly bad, the kids just acted better. It's just what it is.
It's natural balance to life.
Yeah, it's just the balance. It's the circle of life. Hakuna Matata.
Literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I did want to make one more comment because what did I say? I forgot what syndrome I gave on women, but I do, man. Just notice a lot of men just started going to this broken wrist syndrome. It's like even men that you see a lot of people. I watch the NBA. You see a lot of guys that had a broken wrist sometimes. Yeah. What are in it. And it's like, man, is that just a characteristic of being around your mom for so long that you don't even notice it? You know what I mean?
It's like they holding their purse.
Yeah, and it's like, I think as a man, and I'm speaking this from a personal perspective, I caught myself like, wait a minute, why is my wrist so broke? Like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? So I've had to catch myself in my life, in my past, of course, like, hey man, tighten them wrists up.
Yeah, it's your demeanor, how you carry yourself.
All that stuff matters, fellas. If your wrist is broke, fix them. No more broken wrists.
Yeah, man, you can just notice how sometimes we can just take a guess before we know somebody and be like, oh, he probably came from a single mother home. Like at the gym, you see people playing basketball, you see how emotional they are. And it's like, man, they probably came from a single mother home. Or they're like really a mama's boy.
Oh, yeah, they was. And I can speak on that from my personal experience. Ain't nobody, I used to get super mad. I ain't gonna say nobody ever got mad at me, but hell, I used to get so mad playing basketball that they take me out the game. Like you can't even play no more because you've become emotionally involved into this game to the point where it's taking you out of the game.
Yeah, men reacting emotionally does not yield good results. It's just terrible. Men should be more logical in their thinking. It just should be naturally for you to. But when you're raised with women or by a mother, you tend to take on those feminine traits of being emotional. Mm-hmm. And then you throw off the balance of the yin and the yang, and then you grow up and you raise, and then maybe you are an active father, but you're helping raise emotional men. And then you're dating, and you bring these feminine traits to a relationship, and now you got these women out here being more masculine because they have to go out there and do things that men should be doing. And then they out here. I just can't believe these men out here are okay with sitting at home playing video games and letting the woman
go out and work,
right? And take care of the household. It's just amazes me. This is insane.
Whether my wife makes more money than me or not, my goal is to always make more money than my wife and make sure that she can retire. And if she wants to work, that's just an option that she has. I don't want my wife working. I never got married with the idea of like, I want my wife to work. I say we have to do some 50-50 in the beginning, but I see it as I just want to be able to do all the work and create a life for my family. That's just how I always saw it.
But it's men out here who just, this is their life goal.
Oh, yeah,
They think they made it. They just my girl take her, we good. I'll take her.
Unless your wife is like Oprah Winfrey or something like that.
Man, if my wife
it's just going to be hard for you to make it where she don't
you ain't going to make it out-earn her.
But you still should get out of, I'm going to still get out and do something. That's why we talked about that before, too. Mm-hmm. We still get out and do something. But that's like the only way I was like, man, I see why you ain't pushing this hard, bro. I see why you're not trying to get her up out that seat because it's just going to be more challenging.
And honestly, I wouldn't even marry a woman like Oprah Winfrey. She has to make that much money. You not realize how busy you have to be.
Oh yeah, you don't have time for a family. We have to already be together.
And I need a mother who can be active with the kids.
Yeah, but I mean, if you was with her before it happened, it just happened. It just happened.
Yeah, if it happens like that,
it happens. Yeah. But at my preference, I don't want my wife working. Period.
Period. Yeah. And you know, God bless you.
Yeah, man. Look, if that's what you're doing in your life and it's working for you and you like it and you're with it, go with it. And tell me what happens 10 years from now.
But I would suggest you get up off your ASS and get up there, take some of that pressure off your wife, and start being the man in the house. But that's just my opinion. And I know it doesn't happen overnight. It can take you some time to get there.
It could take some time.
But, you know, you just put the work in and it'll happen. Stay positive, stay righteous. It will happen. Take some of the pressure off these ladies. Stop being like, these men need to stop being like women, especially black men. Emphasis on black men, because this is a feminine generation of black men. Let me tell you. So, you know, get up off y'all asses, turn off the game, put some hard work in, and give your wife a break.
And while y'all doing that, you know, I think probably like, and I always forget to touch on this point when we had these shows, but you know, I think that when you like these videos that we do and you subscribe to our channel and you comment and you share it with your people, the conversations that it's going to bring about can take you from being just a man on the couch to the man of the house, to not only the man of the house, but the man in the man that everybody wants to be, the man that people look up to. That's what these videos do. That's what this content is designed to do. Because we didn't produce it. God, we're just following God's plan for our lives. We didn't want to do a show. God wanted us to do it. So we did it for you. And you should take what we're giving you and live a better life.
You feel me?
With your bitch ass. That's funny. That's funny, man.
Manifesting the vibe, yeah, we feeling it. You wasting time, then you killing it. Life's too short, so we living it up. Pull up to the party with this drink in my cup. Don't fuck with nobody if that body new. My trust only lies with the crew. Say I'm the truth, bully the hype. This ain't a movie, baby, this is my life. Baby, this is my life.
I've been rapping my whole life. I ain't been rapping that long. Life is short, my nigga.
I couldn't write a verse in jail, couldn't get a vibe there. Surrounded by depression, no niggas in wheelchairs.
With the wrong side of the bread. Thought I made it by a landslide, but instead I'm still hungover. Sometimes I make the wrong phone